Hey traders, John Howell here. In today's video, I'm going to be covering just across the board. I'm going to be starting with the silver, gold, and also the miners. This is just going to be on a technical basis. Plus, also talk about some fundamentals of what I see happening as well too. Also going to be covering obviously the stock market as well. I'll be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, just what I see happening there. And also there is one stock that I see is probably likely to make a very big move. So if I remember that, just remind me. I'm laughing because I'm doing a recording for you. Just remind me and I'll see if I can remember doing that as well too. So let's get straight into it, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, over the last 15 years, we've tested 64 different trading courses and we have put the most powerful systems and trading techniques that we've discovered in this brand new trading course. And for a limited time, I'm giving away free access. So go to johnsfreegift.com. That's johnsfreegift.com, or click on the very first link in the description to get free access to this brand new trading course right now. Alrighty, traders. Alrighty. Let's get straight into today and what's going on here with silver and gold. So the really big picture that's happening right now with gold and silver, and it's causing a lot of havoc in a lot of people in there. And I think the terminology is that impatience never commands success. In fact, impatience never commands success. I think that's the actual. I think that's the terminology. Yeah, impatience never commanded success. And I really want you to think about that when it comes to your investing positions. And I want you to think about the markets as what's happening here right now. And the thing that you see with gold, okay, if you look at gold over the last sort of 12 months, you can see that even though we haven't been doing a lot since August last year, and this is really causing a lot of people to be impatient, especially when they're starting to see like Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of these cryptos take off. It's really causing a lot of people a lot of havoc when it comes to the gold and silver market. But here is the thing when it comes to your investing, when you're looking at, say, things such as gold, and also when you're looking at, say, things such as silver as well too. Whenever you're looking at these markets and you're looking to invest, the best place to invest in something is not when it's already making a move to the upside, not when it's already making a very, very nice move it's already taken off, like Bitcoin. Okay, so you may be right in that, in say, buying Bitcoin at where it is right now. I think 47,000. It'll be basically 47,000. You may be right, and it goes to 50. But the best time, where was the best time to get involved with Bitcoin? It was the best time. The best time was when? It was when it was basically around 3, 4, 5,000. Then you say, no, John. But at that time, we weren't really doing much. And so the best time to be buying something is on a dip or when it goes quiet. You never want to buy something when it's already making a big move, because you never know when that big move is likely to end. So any stock out there, as you know, if you've been involved with the markets, we go through a move and then we generally get some sort of a pullback. Or we go through a move and then we generally get something like that for a while, and then we might go for another move again. So you never really know when we go through a big move in the markets, we never know when that ending, when this point up here is going to be. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they will start to buy it when it goes up a lot. They'll start to buy it here, and then the market pulls back. They get stopped out and then takes off again. So that's one of the reasons why I personally right now love gold and silver over a lot of the crypto markets, because I'm getting in when no one's interested in it. And you know the whole analogy, right? The whole analogy when it comes to gold, it's like, buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy. What do you think is happening right now in the crypto market? Yes, it's probably going to get to 50,000. I'm going to get to those charts in just a minute. But looking at the gold and silver market right now, I see amazing opportunities for investing purposes, just like we saw with Bitcoin back, over 12 months ago. And the people that bought 2 years ago with Bitcoin are benefiting now. And I want you to see that as in the same for gold, silver, and a lot of these are mining stocks as well too. So you see we have like the GDXJ as well, and the GDX and so on and so forth. So I do see a lot of these markets on a short-term basis. It's very, very hard to say, you know, what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen on a short-term basis here. But those who are patient, remember, impatient never commands success. And the best time to get involved with something is when no one's looking at it, when no one's talking about it, and it's also going through a bit of a pullback. That's the best time to be entering something. So looking at the miners and metals right now, I believe that just like with Bitcoin, right? 2 years ago, if you bought Bitcoin, today you're celebrating. Today you buy the miners and metals, 2 years down the track, you're probably likely to be celebrating. I really do see hockey stick action coming real soon in the miners and metals. And what I mean by hockey stick action is we're getting a bit of a pullback right now, and we're likely to see something like that coming out of that. Now, I personally believe, this is just me guessing, so, you know, don't take it to the bank. But I personally believe, for some reason, I believe that the last 2 quarters of this year are probably likely to be the start of that hockey stick action out of the miners and metals. Now, before then, we may see we may see a continuation of this pullback. Now, that's just my guess, guys. You know, we could go through the floor, we could go for a bit of a drop to the move to the upside. But in all of that, what I've just said there, it doesn't matter, because the long-term view is probably likely to be really, really bullish for those. So once again, I do see probably the second and third quarter of this year is probably likely to start to see some really big moves, I believe, out of the metals and the miners. So from June onwards, guys, get really excited for the second half of this year. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Moving over now through to the stock market. And the stock market, when it comes to the stock market, even though we don't go straight up in any market, doesn't matter what's happening, I'm seeing that we're probably likely to be in the start of something truly spectacular. Like, we're talking hockey stick action in the stock market itself. Now, not all stocks, but the averages, and you know, some stocks are already making the hockey stick action. So you don't want to say, okay, the Dow Jones or the S&P are doing this, so therefore all stocks are going to do it. Please don't do it. Please don't make that mistake, because it's not true. And some stocks are going to get hammered. Just because the S&P goes up doesn't mean all stocks go up. So looking at the Dow Jones, say, and the S&P 500, what's happening on a short-term basis, we're continuing this very nice upward trend. And the amount of money, right, the interest rates are zero, and the amount of money that's being printed right now, and the amount of debt that's being created, there's going to be literally trillions of dollars that are going to be flocked to these markets in a result of trying to get out of that situation with the dollars there. So I really truly see that we're likely to see some significant moves coming in the stock market this year. And yes, things are overvalued right now, but I believe this bull market, this massive bull market, call it a blow off top, melt up, hockey stick action, whatever you want to call it, is just getting started. Now, when I say that, along the way, you're going to get pullbacks. So if the market goes up for a little bit here, and then suddenly we get a pullback like that, that's still okay. Why? Because that's how the markets, that's the operation of the markets, right? That's how we go up, we go down, we go up. As you can see here, right? We zigzag all the way up, right? So massive opportunities for bullishness moves in the markets. And the one stock that I personally like is Zoom. I really like Zoom. I think Zoom is probably likely to get above $600. Don't count me on that, because don't take it to the bank, because there's no guarantees in any position here. But I really like Zoom long term. I think Zoom is one of those sort of companies that is likely to be do well over this next 12 months. And we've already, remember I said before, you wait for a pullback and you get in on the pullback. I waited for a pullback here. Now we're finding a bit of support around the 400 level. And so I'm personally in Zoom myself, and I see Zoom probably making a much bigger move above 600 when it comes to Zoom, because most people are using the platform right now. So that's what I'm seeing there, guys, when it comes to that. Let me now bring you over to the good old Bitcoin, and I'll share this with you, what I'm seeing. And Bitcoin right now is at basically 47,000. This surprised me, guys. This really did surprise me when it comes to Bitcoin, because I never really expected to see Bitcoin get to 47,000. I didn't believe we're likely to see a new high out of this here. So it's going to be really interesting to see. We're probably going to hit the 50,000 mark right now, and then we're probably likely to find a bit of resistance there. But when it comes to Bitcoin right now, guys, and the way that I see Bitcoin, again, why would I want to invest in something right now when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Ethereum's different. I already made a lot of money in Ethereum myself, but why would I try to chase something that's already made a massive move, knowing what I've talked about, how the markets operate, when I can go jump into something and then be patient with that? You may be right here, and it goes to 60,000, right? And something we run up to 60,000. Yeah, and you know what? Yippee-doo-day, you got it right. But on a probability basis, where was the best time to investing in Bitcoin? When was it? Back here. Notice how we're doing nothing for a long time. I wonder what other markets are doing this nothing for a long time before the big move. Gold, right? Gold, silver, mining stocks, they're doing this here. So that's why I say, you know, probably in the second half of this year, maybe even next year, we start to see something like that out of the miners and metals. But those who are patient are going to come to a point in time, just like people who've been buying Bitcoin. Because I know people are buying Bitcoin, just been buying, holding all the way. So that's what I do see what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, I'm not invested in it right now. I'm not in it right now. I'd rather put my money somewhere else and get a lot better return out of that. And I know people saying, "Oh, John, that's crazy. Are you serious? Like, why would I try to chase something like Bitcoin when I can put some money into a really good options trade?" And instead of trying to wait, you know, even if I bought Bitcoin at 40, I got to wait for it to get to 80 to make 100% return, where I can get into a really beautiful options trade and make 100% in a few days. You see what I'm saying there, guys? So you got to think about the way that you are operating, the way that you're thinking about your investments, and the way that you think about your investing. You're obviously buying Bitcoin because you think it's going to go up so you can make some money, right? So if it's going to go, if it starts at 40 and goes 80, maybe then it just goes to 150 or whatever. You know, maybe it makes 200-300% return. You know, but that 200-300% return, it may take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years for that to happen. Where with a really good options trade, 6 months. You know, I've been in an option trade, and 2 months later, the thing was worth 1,000% return in 2 months. People have waited 5 years to make 1,000% return in Bitcoin. So that's what I'm saying there, guys. Don't just look at Bitcoin as the all be all and end all. That's the reason why I personally love trading options, even in long-term investing positions, because the results are so much greater. And people think, oh, Bitcoin's amazing because it's doing this. It's like, options are so much better. Why? Because you can limit your risk, and the upside potential is absolutely amazing with that. So, and also looking at Ethereum as well. I tell you, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this video because I've just been really talking about, you know, if you like Bitcoin, then go for it. But for me personally, guys, I'm looking for really good positions to get into. And when you overlay that with options, you know, and the best thing about options in some of these markets, in all these markets, if you buy a market and it goes up 100%, you made 100% return on your money, right? But if I buy the option of that market, I'm probably likely to make 1,000 to 2,000% return. Get you some of that. So looking at Ethereum is just, I actually got into Ethereum back down here around the 400 level, and then I got out around 1,000, 1,300. I just was really surprised to see this thing break above new highs and do what it's doing right now. So very interesting to see that happening in the Ethereum. Right now, guys, is the wrong time to be chasing a market that looks like this. The best time is what? The best time is buying something when the market's not doing much, and then riding it up. You buy low, sell high. You don't buy high because you may just be catching the last 25% of this move before we see another pullback. And we will get pullbacks, guys. And if you don't think we will, then unfortunately, history will continue to repeat itself just like it did back here. When again, we never know when the end is going to be of this bull market, this bull move, when it comes to Ethereum and it comes to Bitcoin. But the inevitable will happen, and we're going to see a sharp correction out of this. And that's where you're always the much better position to get into when you're trying to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, is wait for something like this first and then invest into something that you like long term. Don't wait for this and then start to pile in here, because once again, how do the markets work? We go for a big move and then they need to take a bit of a breather for a while. We do this just like we did back here. So please don't be chasing something right now when it comes to Ethereum. If you want to get into Ethereum and Bitcoin, guys, just wait 6 months or 12 months. Within the next 6 to 12 months, we're probably likely to see a big pullback out of it. And it's going to be a really good buying opportunity. If you like Bitcoin, at least wait for a big dip. Buy the dip, sell the rip. Don't buy the rip because you're likely to be selling the rip at a loss.